if care is not taken. It's another edition of Bystanders at Newsstand on Fliptv. It's the 8th of February, that's Monday morning at the Newsstand here, and we have our reviewers set to express their views concerning this warning by the Nobel laureate Wale Soyinka. Michael, still keeping history with you, and behind the camera, Michael Ojo has my namesake. All right, to the business of today, the Daily Sun newspaper. Elders crisis may lead to civil war. Wale Soyinka warns. Elders crisis may lead to civil war. Soyinka warns. We have another one here. It says Wari's silence gives impression he is complicit. Says Wari's silence gives impression he is complicit. Yakasai, Junaid, anger, blast Nobel laureate, Middle Belt Forum, PRP back in. On top of the paper, we have new electoral act ready before end of February, says National Assembly. No room for independent candidacy. No room for independent candidacy. On to the next one, which is at the down part of the paper. 2023 presidency. Igbo shouldn't be deputy to anybody, say ex-Millard Ochulo. Southeast best qualified to produce next president, says Grigori University Pro-Chancellor. And we have Wari on something here. African Union must be reformed to stay relevant. That's what the president has said here. African Union must be reformed to stay relevant. Kidnappers on rampage in Abuja. That's the FCT, Federal Capital Territory. Kidnappers on rampage for abducted. Residents flee. Police arrest 6 suspects. It's security matter, says FCT minister. Bandits kill 19, burn church, several houses in Kaduna. Government abduct Taraba NLC chairman. It's unfortunate some still think COVID-19 is wax, says Archbishop Kagama. Urges federal government to subject vaccine to in-country trial before usage. Ex-Imo and our reviewers for more analysis on these stories. And I have here at the Newsstand this morning, the 8th of February, Mr. Matthew. Good morning, Matthew. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Good morning, Mr. Mike.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure.
It's another edition of Bystanders, and it's good to have you here at the Newsstand.
It's a pleasure.
All right, we have something very, very important. A warning sounded by the Nobel laureate himself, talking about the international man, Wale Soyinka, saying that if care is not taken, the elders crisis may lead.
Okay, the way I see it is, the warning is necessary. Because by our standard, Professor Wale Soyinka is somebody who is a stakeholder in this country. He's somebody who witnessed the Civil War. He's somebody who know the indices that caused the Civil War. And from what I read too, most of those that caused the Civil War have not been addressed even up to today.
Okay.
The socio-economic imbalance in the system is still very much inherent in our society currently. The tribalism, the favoritism, promotion of mediocrity above meritocracy is still ravaging our country. But again, I think the focal point is the crisis between the herders and host communities. That's for the purpose of this discussion.
Okay.
Now, I think the federal government will be held responsible for any crisis that will come out of these lingering clashes between the Fulani and host communities. Why am I heaping the blame on at the doorstep of the federal government? And reason because the federal government is not doing the needful. The federal government is failing its responsibility of protecting life and property. By our standard, the federal government has the mandate to protect life and property. And where federal government is not forthcoming in this area, that is we are seeing Fulani henchmen kidnapping farm, raping girls, collecting ransom and all that, destroying farmlands. You see, the reason is because people are not being arrested and prosecuted. Mr. Mike, you will know We know that the essence of law is to act as deterrent to others. By the time people commit crime, they go away with it. There is every tendency that other people will do it, and even with impunity. I think that is what we are seeing in Nigeria. A situation where somebody will be kidnapped, like what happened in that Iganga. A situation where a Sunday Igboho confronted the Sariki of Iganga, and he was confident that he was scolding those Fulani who may have committed one crime or the other. The question is, where is the police personnel? Where is the military personnel? Mr. Mike, it will interest you to know, because I read Sunday Igboho's interview recently, where he said that when he was going to that Iganga, that he visited the DPO in that environment, and that he went to that Iganga in the company of the DPO. He said even the operation boss accompanied to that vicinity. The question is, what have been done from arresting these mixed crimes, these criminals, and prosecuting them? Because that is not the first time they have been talking about crime in those vicinities. Then again, I think, looking at what Woloshoyeka said, I think the Northern Elders Forum, Mietiala itself, everybody have to come to a round table and determine that enough is enough. If you want Nigeria to move forward, if you want to see an end to this crisis, if you don't want it to degenerate into a monumental crisis that may even result into ethnic war, I think what all the stakeholders need to do is to come together and agree to abolish this open grazing. No matter how we look at it, with that sentiment, the way forward is to abolish open grazing. There are so many states that have passed laws through the House of Assembly against open grazing, night grazing, underage grazing. And it will interest you to know that most of them, their efforts have been frustrated by even Nigerian security agencies, because they refuse to arrest and prosecute recalcitrant planning herdsmen who disobey these state laws and go about grazing openly. So by our standard, what we need to do is to agree that open grazing is no longer fashionable. Nomadic life is no longer fashionable. It was fashionable in the time past. They used to have grazing routes, but those things are no longer fashionable. The way forward is ranching. And going by ranching, the herders should understand that are doing their personal legitimate business. By such, they should get themselves land. Either they buy, they lease, whichever way. They can approach any financial institution for credit facility if they don't have the financial muscle to build ranch, then get themselves ranch and start their business. On the other way around, any state that decide to build ranch could equally acquire land and build. And if a state is building, it will be that that state is investing, and any herder or any cattle rearer who intends to use that ranch will rent it and pay the state, so the state will leverage on it by way of getting money through rent, and they will get their return on investment through those rents.
Now it's quite clear that the FCT, that's the Federal Capital Territory, is now a place where people cannot no longer sleep with their two eyes closed. Last week I saw a story concerning the FCT, that's Abuja, where kidnappers are perpetrating their evil acts. And this morning on the front page of this journal, that's the Daily Sun, kidnappers on rampage in Abuja. Now that we have the new service chiefs, Nigerians are expecting more from them, despite the fact that the old ones failed to perform or to live up to their responsibilities. Now, what's your take on this? How can FCT be secured? This is a Federal Capital Territory, for God's sake.
I think what is seeing that level of security in FCT is because that is the seat of power. There is serious crisis in Nigeria when it comes to security. You cannot build on nothing and expect to earn something. Because if you look at it, over the years, we have failed to improve on our security system. We have been saying it on this platform over and over that the security these days of this age that you drive it through technology, and we don't have it here, and we have the resources to procure it. So I don't know what is the predicament of Nigerian government, why they are not deploying technology to drive the process of securing this nation. Until you do that, you are not likely going to see a good level of security, because any environment where you have bushes, the way Nigeria is today, it implies that there's every tendency that kidnapping can take place in that environment. And again, the government is not helping matters. You have so many employable youths who do not know where the next meal will come from, who are roaming about on the streets. Look at the CBN policy to ban cryptocurrency. Is it not going to throw people out of job? Is it not going to affect people's livelihood? Is it not going to make people to start looking towards crime?
But the CBN has said that the cyber crime in the country is so high. That's why.
Mr. Mike, sorry, permit me to digress a little bit. You see this, I read about what CBN, the reason CBN had used to have. And again, I don't know any I don't know any market, I don't know any financial market that don't have that is not volatile. The same stock market that is legitimate, the price can crash, it can appreciate. I think what the federal government is lacking through CBN is the ability to do their diligent work, to investigate. Because you don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. If, for instance, you say because people who are doing bureau de change, that there are some people who are using it to launder stolen money, do you shut down bureau de change in the country? I don't think that is the best approach. Now, back to what we are discussing. Or rather, let me give you another instance. Take for instance, you have a Ghana must go full of documents. Let's say you have 1,000 documents inside. You have 2 that is corrupt. Instead of sorting out that 2, do you burn the whole Ghana must go? That is what CBN is doing. What they needed to do is to regulate the sector, because their claim is that the people who are operating in that sector are not licensed and they are not being regulated. So what they needed to do is to place a policy and order that henceforth, for you to operate, you must be licensed by CBN, and we must know and monitor your financial update on monthly basis, weekly basis, as they deem it fit, not outrightly closing it. Then again, you see that when people are idle, it will compound our security problem. That is the reason I pointed to that angle. What I'm saying in essence is the federal government should look at how to deploy technology to advance this our fight against crime. Because in this jet age, what you do is you deploy area surveillance drone. I could recall the other time, the Iranian government brought down an American surveillance drone, claiming that it beat their airspace. That is how a country should run. When they killed Soleimani, it was 2 area surveillance drones, they monitored and bombed him. So in the same vein, we can acquire these drones. I've learned that even the Kaduna State governor, for the purpose of distributing COVID-19 vaccine, said he's partnering with a tech company to deploy drone to Kaduna to distribute COVID-19 drug vaccine, I mean to say. So if he have that idea, and if the government know that this exists, why don't you go and procure it? We have the resources. We are not saying not to produce it. The producers are willing to sell as long as crime, whether in SCT or any other place for that matter. Then again, I think the federal government should liaise with experts like America, like Israel, who have the expertise to drive the process. Until we do that, we are not likely to see the end of this crisis.
Thank you so much, Mr. Matthew. Saying good morning to us from the United States of America, Ahmed Fatima Moyoshore. Blessed morning to you all. That's what she has said on the live chat. Blessed morning to you, reviewers.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, my brother. Mr.
Mike.
Mike,
How are you doing?
I'm happy to see you.
It's really
You're looking nice.
You too.
And the viewer too who are watching us.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you are blessed.
Amen. Thank you. I like that.
Well, according to one of our viewers.
Yes. No, we are blessed. We are blessed in this country. It's just got the frustrated federal government, as he called my brother just left, who just left this pastor. Federal government. Do we have federal government? Nobody. Nobody. We are just surviving by the grace of God.
Now we are just surviving by the grace of God, and here we have the noble laureates Wale Soyinka pointing at something so significant that if we are not careful, the Elders crisis we are facing may lead to civil war. Don't you perceive it too?
You see, sometimes when Soyinka speak, I love him. He's a man I love so much. But they are the people who was championing 2015, 2014 that Buhari should come to power. But today, all of them are crying. I remember him. He was condemning Jonathan. I remember that time. He's a man who brought this dead man. He said, I don't believe man. We have professors, millions of professors in Nigeria here. They're there. No, let me go straight to the point. I only hit the nail on the head. I don't believe all this drama. Soyinka was there. You remember? Criticizing Jonathan. I won't tell you lie. I have told you several times. These S-men are Boko Haram. Look at the killing every day. Mostly Kaduna. El-Rufai was among who criticized the past government. But today, El-Rufai cannot be in charge of Kaduna State. You can see the monster of killing over there. So automatically we don't have government. We have no government now, for now. These are worse. It's good to speak the truth. I don't believe all this jamboree. Southwest, south, southeast, north, west, everybody, you can't go out. And the worst thing, the ministers, especially Amechi, is a useless man. Sorry to say that. Let me tell him, because if I'm a reporter, I'm interviewing Amechi, the way he's behaving, look like doubt. He cannot even answer one question. I don't understand me. How can we don't have rain in around Lagos, most of this metropolitan area, the whole Nigeria, no rain. Now you are now want to put rain for Kano to Niger. What? Why don't you channel that money to our Lagos rain and other? They abandon this Lagos Ibadan rain. It's not working. And they ask him, yes, cannot even say anything. Even the one he started for River State, he said he can't answer anything. He only come to a useless man. So Buhari has no ministers, and the country is worse. It's worse, and the Nigerians are watching. We still have 2 years to go. So Soyinka, what he said, they're not going to listen to him because he's among of the who brought Buhari. My brother, another one.
Now, is the president proactive? Is it proactive? And in other words, is he biased in tackling the issue of elders in the country?
Who is the patron of Betiala? Who is the patron for this S-man? Is Buhari? It's not talking. I don't know why we keep going back. The man has not even addressed upon this killing. I don't know whether the man doesn't read news or doesn't read paper. Killing is even worse now. It's worse. 27, 28, kidnapping, Lagos Expressway. Everywhere kidnapping. You see, let me tell you, the solution is for people to come out and protest against this government. Let everybody come out. Be you Muslim, be you Christian, come out and let's protest. Because this is becoming too much. Is hungry? Is it killing? Everything, we don't have government. So what I'm saying, Buhari is not in charge. So by talking about him, I don't know, it's not there. He doesn't hear news. He doesn't even address the country. I think your body language will make S-men fear. So there is an agenda for S-men to dominate the whole Nigeria, which they are doing. Okay, you don't allow me to do ranches, don't worry. I will pour them everywhere. Imagine Amechi, Minister of Transport, saying because of Malu, our train cannot speed more than 20 speed limits. because of Malu. So something is wrong somewhere.
Let me quickly read what Andrew Ogunjimi has said here.
Yes.
Can we please forget what Soyinka and other did during Jonathan's regime and move on and do the needful?
Yes. The only way to move on is this president to step down, because the thing is getting too much now. But see, anytime I come here, I'm always angry. There is no good news for our president. It's not even addressing the nation. You want to tell me the president doesn't watch TV? The pastors are quiet. They are not talking. The pastors, the man. What is happening? Are we deaf? You know, my brother, take everyday paper. You read paper every day. Have you still got which day have you ever wake up say good news? No, let me ask you. Imagine CBN, that old man, banning people who are surviving. So what do you expect? So everybody, you see, my brother, see, Nigeria, we need to wake up. We need to wake up. You don't just see what happened to US. Wake up, let's get up and see. Let's take this matter for a hand. Instead of waiting for this deadly man who is sleeping as well. You don't have vice president, you have no ministers. Imagine. What are we talking about? We don't have president. That's why I'm angry with Soyinka. Tinubu, they are not talking. They are only waiting for 2023 presidential election. They don't even know what will happen tomorrow. Whether they will sleep and not wake up. You are planning we are hungry, my brother.
Now let's take a look at another story here. 2023 presidency. Igbo shouldn't be deputy to anybody. David once sent something sometimes ago. That's David Sampson, one of our reviewers. He said if Igbos want to achieve that freedom, they should that their people, that their leaders, political leaders, elite, should leave National Assembly, key positions in the country. People like Ngige, Okorocha, and others. Now, don't you think if Igbos imbibe that kind of idea, something good will come out of the agitation?
You see, one thing you can see, thank you very much for that question. Anytime, if you watch our viewer, most of them are Igbo people. Anytime we speak anything contrary, you see is that we can't fight ourselves. The only thing is that, I can remember this question, they asked one of the Igbo leaders, the governor of Imo State, that it is time for Igbo to produce presidency. You know what he said? He said, we don't have that much of people to produce president. The only thing we have to work with the North. But let me tell you, the majority of Igbo people say they don't need president. They don't need president. So for me, I believe the president should go to that place, but they have to work very hard. I don't know what I mean. But this time around, when you ask an Igbo man, the next president is coming from your place, you say, no, I reject it. I reject it. He said, all we believe is Biafra. Now, yes, I know I'm going to say this. But the leader of the Biafra, where is it? It's in Israel. Abi, look at the killing that just happened in Imo State. I expected to retaliate. If that killing took place, we did not. What did you happen?
To fight the Nigerian army?
Let me tell you something.
Is it the one that happened in all local governments?
You see, not that they cannot fight. It's not because of respect. We don't want war now. We don't want to fight war now because the war fought before damaged a lot of East people. But they don't want to fight war. But the only thing is that I love Igbo. I believe the next president come from Igbo, but they have to work very hard. I will support, I will vote for them. But let me tell you, anytime I raise that issue, many people, they crucify me, they abuse me, they say they don't want to become a president. So, if president can come from this Yoruba land, from North, from Igbo, I will appreciate it. But don't bring this old man like Tinubu. I don't want Tinubu, he's old. You can't bring your people that will cover us, not this old man that is sleeping as the vice president who call himself pastor. Doing nothing. We are dying, killing everywhere. You say we are vice president. Can't you see the vice president of United States who just left? I don't know why we hate ourselves. Allowed you to be in street until we start dying in the street before you know, Buhari can wake up. I'm angry because we have no president on seat.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lucky. And we have you right here at the Newsstand.
Good morning.
Sunday. Good morning. How you doing?
Love you, I'm fine.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Love you too. Love you too. All right, it's still on the elders crisis that has been going on for some weeks now. We've been having different groups, personalities in the country talking about this same crisis. What should the president do at this point in time? There have been calls for the president to come out and address the nation, which Nigerians have not seen. What is really wrong with the president? Is there something is there any kind of synergy or relationship between the president and the elders? What's wrong?
Good morning, my esteemed viewer. You know, I love speaking my mind and say what is happening in Nigeria, and the diaspora, let them know that Nigeria as a country present, they don't have a president. We don't have a vice president. We don't have a minister that can fight for you. Nigeria is just on their own. My living and you is God. Because I said it before, this is the only country that they have Minister of Information when they get information. The Minister of Information is there, he don't have information. Anyone he come out for a mouth, he bring out, they call Alala Mohammed. I don't know where they can come from. We have a president that never come outside. Anywhere, anytime something happen, the president will never talk. It will be like Donji. That will show that we don't have president. You understand? And only what you know, I remember what fella say. He said, either you like or you don't like. After those people talk, if you like, make you kill yourself. But this time around, we are not going to kill ourselves. We are going to kill them. Let everybody, see, Mr. Mike, the problem of Nigeria is between me and you. If everybody say we don't like what is happening in Nigeria, let Igbo man close your shop, Yoruba man close your shop. Everybody enter the street, demonstrate. The world will know. And the president make a choice. And he decide to support the herdsmen. What are the governors? What is Tinubu? Is he not a Yoruba man? What are the other elders in Yoruba land? They are not saying anything. They are still playing politics with their children. Like yesterday news, the northern elder went to me that they want to send soldiers. They want to send soldiers to southwest to protect the northerners. Because me and you, they don't value us. If they send soldiers to protect the north in the west, who will protect me and you? That's to show that Yoruba should expect what will be happening in the east. See Buhari take over. A day will come, Buhari will send soldiers and kill people in the east. The people will condemn. And this is the same thing they want to do to southwest because they are fighting their people. I heard something yesterday that during 2002, when Buhari have never come as a president, the same place in that Oyo state that they are having Iflani headmen was issued there. Something happened there. They said the president went there. And when he went there, he had to meet the elder and tell the elder, say, why are your people killing my people? As a head of state, as a leader, is that a statement of a person that loves Nigeria? Everybody are clamoring to come and address. What did he want to address? A person have never addressed himself. He have never addressed himself as a president. What did he have to address to a wise people? A Nigeria intelligent as we are. Even now, I can never be proud to be in Nigeria. Because anywhere you find yourself, you see that nothing good can come out from north. Only the agenda is to kill you and take what belongs to you. Their evil agenda, they never love you happy. If they love killing, I don't know whether it's their calling. I will call it their calling. Because anywhere they find themselves, they will like to cause problem in that place. They will not develop the place, but only what they are after is how they will cause problem there. Put one outside man for one gate. Before they go break, all the whole family will get for there, go food for that place. And that place, if you not take time, you as the owner, they'll be threatening you. Is that how the country will go? Nigeria is not existing again. I love Sunday Igboho in the man that Yoruba is supposed to follow, not those stupid politicians, the old fool that is making their life useless, eating what belongs to them. Go to East. That's why I love, in other way, I love Igbo youth. They never bow down to all these are useless governor. They don't listen to them. They can never say, let me frustrate for the useless governor. Which governor? Igbo man fight for what he will eat, not for the governor. Governor never feed them. After all, the governor has said before soldiers enter to kill the youth of that place of East. In that 1999 constitution, if you look at it, many of the elders are clamoring that let them amend it, let them change the constitution. If that constitution no change, civil war, and everybody they die. Why are they afraid of civil war? If the war come, they never fight war for Nigeria and everybody die. If the northern and that they have power, they can fight. People are ready to fight. You understand? We are not afraid of. Are they talking anything about it? Every day we wake up, you don't hear one thing or another. You hear that security agencies went to somewhere, and those security agencies are the people that are supposed to defend the masses. But government are using them for their personal interest. You understand? They will send them a policeman, a governor will give order to a policeman. Your brother, my brother will be there, and they can come here to shoot and kill everybody. Because the order is from here, a stupid governor that somebody put. They put it as a constitution. And the governor, anything that the masses, if Nigeria is a governor will yield to the demand of the people, not their own wish, because they are there to serve the people that put them there.
Do you support Igbo presidency?
Oga, at the way Nigeria is going, if Igbo president come or Yoruba president come, we never know peace. Which Igbo man will do what Buhari do? I mean, which Yoruba president? If Yoruba man is there like Buhari is in that our fake president, we don't know where the car come from. If Igbo man is there, he made chief of army staff from north, Ajo police north, NH chairman north, finance minister north, chief of staff to the president north, every key position north. You think this one, they are cowards, they are angry. Then this one, they will not see that they are not minors. You understand? There will be problem, and that one will be a special war that they will encamp everybody overnight, because they will never allow it to happen. They will telling me to have one Igbo presidency. Let them divide the country. Let everybody go their own. That's what I have to say this morning. Enough of this rubbish for Nigeria.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, son. And we have Jacob saying something here. Was Jacob saying, let's have a referendum to decide if we like being together. Let's have them to decide if we like being together. The unity of Nigeria is being threatened with different crises, and which Nigerians are really not happy about. Now, at this point in time, many Nigerians are clamoring for division, disintegration. What do you think should be done? The president has not been saying something tangible to the hearings of Nigerians. Nigerians have yearned for him to call on the citizens, call on the nation for address, but the president has not done something concerning that. We have killings, we have raping, we have kidnapping, all sorts of things raging the country or ravaging the country. What should be done at this point in time? Don't forget we have new service chiefs.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Mike, and I greet the audience, right? What I can just say right now is the country, right, is trending towards what we experienced during Biafra War. There is a big division among the the three ethnic groups we have, and even the minority ethnic groups. Everybody is crying that they are tired of this marriage. The marriage that never worked since the amalgamation of this so-called, the marriage that never worked since the pronouncement of the republic, to a pronouncement of Nigeria as a republican state. So I just say it's a failure of the generational leadership we've been having, because the government has never been there to bound the tribes together, and all these people, all the problem we are having now, I'll still put it at the doorstep of all these politicians. Politicians here, they are just after when the games is paying them off, when they are being settled in when they are being settled, when they in the political era, they'll keep mum. When the old game is not favoring them again, they'll come down to their roots and start instigating people, the masses, which send them down there. When the hope is no longer holding, they will come down to the grassroots and start instigating the one tribe against the other. And I see we need a very proactive president. We need proactive governors. We need proactive council chairmen. and all those things are missing. All those ones are missing here. And in a government, in a political space where election is being held and people winning election, and the first thing they do is to celebrate. This is all about what I'm going to do for the masses, what I'm going to serve, that I'm going to serve the masses. The celebration is all about, I've joined the Millionaires Club, I've joined the Billionaires Club, and it's only Nigeria I see that politicians, they look at what they will gain, what have in their pocket, than what they will serve, what the service they will render to the people. So about the ethnic issue that is happening here, I can say that every individual has a blame, every sector, every ethnic group has a blame, because when you guys are joining the party, you're supposed to know that there's a rules you have to follow in that party, that and there's what you promise the masses that voted for you, that there's the agenda, there's manifesto that you have in your party guideline that you carry out. But once you get to that position, all of you become one, because sharing money is what they say, sharing the national cake. All these political leaders we have here, what they do, that's what they imagine. Governors having security votes. If you ask them how much is their security vote, how do they spend it, they cannot account for it. And each state, the United States security vote is 600 million per annum. And where there is no security, they incite the security themselves, just to have a point that after all, I can defend my security vote. This is what I expended my security vote on. So I think the Nigerian case, or the Nigerian issue we are discussing now, is beyond what we are seeing. I says the more you look, the more the less you see. The more you look, the less you see.
The more you look, the less you see. This takes us down to Abuja, where kidnappers are rendering life useless there. Kidnappers on rampage in Abuja. 4 abducted residents flee, police arrest 6 suspects. Now it's a security matter. We all know that. Really? And this is insecurity that is ravaging the country. Really? Should this be happening in the Federal Capital Territory?
It's kidnappers. I could even say during the election, we even know that politicians send kidnappers to kidnap their fellow politician. It happens. Everything that you see that is trending in this country has a foundation, and that foundation has the backup of the federal, the political, crowd, the political crowd that we have in this country, because they can do anything to get to power. They are the one behind all these boys. They use them as political tools, and it went beyond. It went beyond their control now. They could not control them any longer. Tell me, if the government of this country, government of Nigeria, the state government, if they want to curb kidnapping, they can easily do it. Wike tried it. He sent out the kidnappers. He said he wants all the kidnappers out of Rivers State. You can be a witness to that. So if they have the willingness to get this thing, to get it rid out of this nation, the kidnapping issue. Look at 20 years ago, there was nothing we heard about kidnapping. But when they are the boys that they've used and they dumped during the election. And every atrocity, every crime committed in this country that they could not nip on the board, that just know that there is a power might behind all this atrocity. Kidnapping is not just, and it's not going to head. Because why it's not going to head, there's a lot of oppression now going on. And all these boys you have used, it's not only kidnapping, cultism, I'll say. Those days we used to hear of cultism in school, and which is quite bad actually. I'm against cultism, because what do you derive in all this trash?
Don't you think this gave birth to terrorism?
Sure. It's just, you see, I just pity this country. It's just you have a father that gave birth to thousands of children, and there's no care plan for the children. Among them you have armed robber, you have kidnappers, you have cultism, and the funniest part of it is when they get the life of this citizenry worse off now, they send their own children abroad, and these children will now turn to mass monsters, and those monsters they are building now will still come back to haunt them if they don't take time. Because when you see these children, they have no fear. The Nigerian youth have no future, especially in this country. We don't have any space. And what they just use Nigerian youth for is hoodlums, kidnappers, political terrorists, and all these things. And they have their own children, they will not use them. And I will still blame it on the headlight of this country. They let this country degenerate, into the mess we have now.
Okay.
Who are these political talks? What are they doing for a living? You assemble them, you use them during politics. After politics, they lay low. I mean, they stay alone, man. No work to do, nothing to do. So what do you expect them to do? They'll start going, they will go on kidnapping spree, man. And the security team too, I think they have a blame. Because I will tell you, out of every kidnapping, every ransom play, a security man must be aware of the ransom. I think it's a joint business now. You can hope for it, and I will tell you the way it's happening. Why is it that every kidnappers that they've been paying ransom to, none has been arrested? The one that arrested God, we don't even hear this. We don't hear they were sentenced to jail.
Evans was arrested.
Where's the case of Evans? He was arrested, but do you hear anything about Evans again? Do you hear anything about Evans again? Even the governors we have now, they can sign budgets that they will steal, but they cannot sign death warrants. Kudos, they just say no, Oshomole. It was only Oshomole that has that guts to get it done in Edo State. They can sign budgets to embezzle money, but to sign death warrant that will deter people from going to all these criminal activities, the governors will never do that.
All right, thank you so much, Kule. I really appreciate you
Yeah.
for coming on board. Thank you so much. We have Patricia saying something very important here. Say no to colonization, dictatorship, and slavery. Let's quickly join another reviewer for more analysis. All right, good morning. Your name?
Yeah, hello, good morning. My name is Akinwande Shakir.
Akinwande Shakir. You are welcome.
It's my pleasure.
Now, talking about what we have on the front page of the Elders Crisis, of course, you are not a novice of what is happening in the country. It has been happening for some times, and it became so intense some weeks ago. This activist, or I call him a warrior, Sunday ago, moved down to Ibarapa to flush out some of the kidnappers there and the killer headers. Now, what do you think should be done now that we have new service chiefs? I think the president should be able to work with the service chiefs to achieve something. Yes or no?
Actually, security of a country or of a community lies on all individuals. Thank God we have new security chiefs, and the question remains: if you listen to people's parliament and TV programs every day, from people's opinions, it's like we're changing part of the securities, and we're not even changing the policymakers, the boss. The question is, can these chief securities have direct access to the president? No. They have an intermediary who has exhausted all his ideas as well. He needs to change.
The president, right?
Not the president himself. Not the president brings in new ideas and work together, brainstorms, based on what the past my security men has done, based on people's comments in the parliament, and work things out together. Probably let's move forward. One of the steps Nigerian governments are making on controlling this insecurity is the NIN. The question remains: are they doing the way it should be done? NIN is the National Identification Number. This is one of the things used in tracking down criminals in the Western world. But our own government, I'm saying this based on my own opinion, based on what I'm seeing, what I'm reading, and what's going on around me. They are not doing it to benefit us. They are not doing it for our sake, but it's for their own benefits, for their own safety, for their own security. That's what they are doing it for. There are lots. When we're discussing security matters a lot of branches. Electricity is the number one. I will say it's one of the security instruments in the whole world. It will be very hard for anybody now to commit any crime now in this broad daylight without the lights everywhere. there will be security. There won't be a security. Our security, our policemen, our military, our paramilitary, everyone. What are in place for them? On what interval do they go to training? At what interval do they go for seminars? So we shouldn't expect anything new in this system, except the change they advertised to us earlier, except the change they publicized to us that they have it, they put it to us, they start implementing by putting things that by changing things. Our governors, they all end security votes. I heard executive governor of Oyo State when addressing them at Igogo somewhere, Igogo, that he has no power, no governor has power over the security of the state, but you have power over the security votes. You can collect the money without even, sometimes when you hear some things from our elite, you have to relate the elite, the educated with non-educated people. Come on, are these not our farmers not even better than our agricultural commissioners and ministers? These so-called governors, our CDA chairman, not even better than them. Honorable His Excellency, Governor of Oyo State is a reputable, is a respected, Gov Southwest as well. But sometimes before addressing people, before throwing out speech to people, try sit down, digest it. If you know how to say, some people know how to. They have the ability to hear and digest. Exactly, that's one thing about Nigeria. You listen to Autumn, the Autumn, Benue State Governor, his speech, he asked a question pertaining to the president and the presidency itself. I want to say this is a tactical question. Is president not aware? Maybe the way I might not be able to quote him properly, right? He said maybe the people that are supposed to feed the president back are not. Tell me what is the responsibility of the president? Tell me the president himself is not even reading news at all. He doesn't read. He doesn't listen to news at all. No, don't let us stylishly accept what the rumor going around the world is. Is the president still alive? Is the president? So many things attached, hidden under the governance of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Does it mean his information ministers are not feeding him the right information or what?
If the information minister, if the ministers or any one of them is not doing they are not doing their responsibility, they are not carrying out the responsibility, they should be changed. They should be fired. They only come out when you attack the presidency. They only come out when you attack the presidency. Anything, I've seen this Nigerian government as a business. Our government, our politicians are doing things in their own favor. Nothing that will favor the country, nothing that will favor the masses. They know it. It is wickedness, act of wickedness. That's what they are doing to the masses. They travel, the least country they will travel to is Saudi Arabia. If you've not been to, this is how things work there. You all sit in the hotel, you all go on the street and snap pictures. All these are not even. They don't have plan for us. Talk less of securing us.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. I really appreciate it. All right.
I get him. So, President cannot say, America say we should donate to army.
All right, quickly to David. David, good morning to you. How are you doing?
Fine. Good morning, Mr. Mike Adepule.
You're welcome. Sometimes ago you said if the Igbos, that's the Igbo race, want to achieve that freedom called Biafra, that nation called Biafra, certain things should be done. And one of the things you mentioned is the Igbo leaders occupying key positions should leave those positions. The one in Asoro should leave Asoro, the one in National Assembly should leave Asoro, the one as a representative should leave as a representative. Now, do you think this can be achieved if what you said, is a vibe?
Mr. Michael Adepule, you cannot be agitating for something and have representative from that region. If the Igbo think they want to go, and then let the likes of Senator Enaya, Abadibe, Ikwe Kalamadi, let all them fall back let them leave the National Assembly. And then Mr. Mike Adekunle, I bet you, between a twinkle of an eye, the present government will take them serious. Because you can have some person that claim to represent you. These people have not moved a motion in their house, chanting or giving excuses, say okay fine, Biafra, we want to go. They have never said that before the National Assembly. This at least is not debating first in the what National Assembly before whatever you want to take it to. It should be what? It should be debate there. And this only they want to go, they know what to do. Some persons say they want to go, and the likes of Inaya Abaribe is there collecting federal allocation. It will not work. The government will not take them serious. Everybody cannot be on. Every woman cannot be in the House of Senate. We have leaders that will speak on that. Let the leaders. If we want to go, I'm from Akwa Ibom. Even if Biafra should go today, I will go with them. So if fully they are leaders too from my state. It's a collective effort. Let them champion this cause there in the assembly and see if by before election we will go.
Now there's someone saying something here on the live chat. That's Juliet. The president is quiet because of his Fulanization agenda. Would you say this is the reason the president has been keeping quiet? Does he have an ulterior motive?
Thank you, Mr. Mike Adekunle. Just like what Tony was trying to say. When in 2002, Lamadeshina was the governor of Oyo State. Now there was this clash between the Fulani herders and the farmers of Oyo State. Now Buhari was their grand patron. Buhari left Katsina to meet with Oyo State governor then in person of Lam Adesina. Now the question Buhari asked Lam Adesina was that why is he killing my Fulani people? In 2002 now, still the same issue now. Now, as the president for one day condemned this act of Fulani, as they said anything now, a prominent northern man here, Mr. Michael, was saying that if you want to curb Fulani S-men, if you want to curb insurgency, if you want to curb banditry, every allocation pertaining to what security should be given to Fulani S-men. That is the only solution for us. Otherwise, there would be what? Crisis. Imagine what someone is saying from the north now. DSS has not picked the person up to now as I'm speaking to you. A federal budget allocation meant for everybody should be given to some set of people. Miscreant. That is the only way forward to curb this issue of Fulani S-men. Which way forward? Now, I believe the presidency should have come out and what attacks this person. But no, Federation has not said anything. Garba Shehu has not said anything. Lai Mohammed has not said anything. But till today, attack the president. If you see them voting out to defend the president, I believe DSS should have picked their idiots for such utterances. How can budget for security, budgets meant for safeguarding lives of poverty for the whole country, give it to one particular people perpetrating evil? It is 2021, and now the president has kept mute. It shows that his body language is what is for the Fulani. Is for the Fulani. Why are you dialoguing with them? Zamfara governor said he will not stop dialoguing with the bandits. On Saturday, he gave them money. All the repented bandits. He gave them money. He was giving them check of 500,000 naira.
Like the federal government did to all repented Boko Haram.
Yes,
repented
Boko Haram. You are now what? Empowering them the more. You are now encouraging. Okay, now tomorrow now, I can say Mr. Adekunle, this so-called vagabonds, illiterates, that are not even well schooled, have the privilege to even get money. I'm here. I'm not getting any benefit from this government. Now, in line with now, federal government banned the currency on Saturday. Now, I believe Mr. President aide, junior aide, Gaba Musa, said that he said Bitcoin and then cryptocurrency, they are fraud. He said it is very lucrative. Every money into that sector should be channeled into cows. So it shows cow is a lucrative business. Imagine what a president aide is saying.
All right, thank you so much, David. We really appreciate you for coming on board. Quickly to Okokondam, Mr. Okpara right here at the newsstand. Okpara, good morning to you. How are you doing?
Too fine.
You're welcome on board.
Yeah.
All right, still on the matter, still on the state of the nation, the elders crisis going on in the country. Wale Soyinka has spoken. He said the president is keeping silent on this issue, and it gives impression that he is complicit.
Yes. Okay. Soyinka wants the president to come and speak. To speak on what issue? You see, although I know Soyinka as a man who stands on the truth. If only man in Nigeria side that was able to cross to Biafra to find the facts. I know Wale Soyinka as a fact finder, a man who wants to speak the truth. And that truth is speak to Nigerian government during the Biafran war that made the one government to detain him, to put him in cell. I feel that truth is still in him. He's a man who is bold enough to confront any government. Now, I like what he came out and said now. He wants Mr. President to speak, to give direction or to declare himself on this issue of the country. But what you have to know, Mr. President cannot speak more than his body language. And what do we think Mr. President to speak? Mr. President to say his people to be hanged. Mr. President is a Fulani man. And the Fulani came on board. Hessman came on board. Immediately he entered in 2015. Which means it looks like it's a program that have programmed for the starting point. And immediately he entered, he started.
It's an agenda, right?
Maybe or may not, but look at how the whole things are going. In 1994, January 1st, 1994, he did coup. 31st of December 1993 and assumed office in 1984. Sorry, he did coup, remove Shagari on 31st of December 1983, and they assumed office in January 1984. And then he assumed office. These Fulani men rise up. Start this thing. People rush, police rush, everybody rush and quench them. There was a high voice that said, don't do these people are the present people. You have to tamper them with conscience, with mercy. They are present people. But fortunately, that thing died down immediately because Babangida did not give him a chance. He ruled only 20 months. Babangida swept him out of office. Now, as he returned back again, in this dispensation in 2015, the same thing split up and becoming worse. Which means if you look at it, it looks like it's a program that is set up. I don't know, but it looks like it's a program that is set on. And when he came in, these people rampant. What did he do? He did nothing. Up to this time, then what do you expect him to say? To crucify his people? No. Mr. Buhari is not like Igbos. Oju Sokalo, Roger Sokorocha, Umay of Enugu State, Usodema of Imo State, Ugwo of Enugu State, Ipazu of Abia State. It's not like that. A person who will organize, like Ohanes and Igbo, under Newodo, when Newodo was the president and this president time, that we organize and to send Operation Patonders to go and kill his people. Do it. So we don't expect him to come and to condemn his people. That's what we have to see. whatever we like, unless the day he's out of power, before things will change. Let us say the reality. You cannot, as I am now, you ask me to carry gun to go and kill my father in the name of Nigeria. I will not kill my father. Because he's my father. Or you tell my father to come and kill me because I offend another tribe. My father kill me. That's what he is to Fulani. He's their father now. In Nigeria.
So we should expect no peace.
You cannot explain what is going on now.
That's right.
You cannot explain what is going on now. You understand? Let me tell you, this present government is Mienti Allah Fulani government of Nigeria, whether they like it or not. Okay, look at yesterday. Northern elders hold a meeting. Paul, I don't know the other name. They said that the president should deploy army to the west to protect the northerners. Who are the northerners? Who are the northerners that we are in west? That west we are say your character, your attitude we don't like. Who are the northerners? Is it not the Fulani helpsmen? But I wonder, this type of Fulani we have now, whether is it the Fulani of you see, the late Elijah Shehu Shagari, he was a Fulani man. The late Yaradua, the major general Yaradua, is a Fulani man. The one that Jota succeeded is a Fulani man. He was a Fulani man when he was alive. Sanusi, former emir of Kano, is a Fulani man. Atiku, Fulani man. Shehu Sani, former prime minister, senator. He's a Fulani man. These people are not harm. Let me thank my people.
All right.
Biafra. The new Oko concept in Second Republic of Biafra, led by Nnamdi Kanu and his IPOP government of Biafra. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Okay, let's quickly move down to another person here, Mr. Chigozie. Chigozie, we have a limited time here, and we need to wrap it up. But I will give you that chance to express your own views concerning what we have on the front page of the Daily Sun. The governor that has spoken, Wale Soyinka, as a man, and he said that the way Buhari is handling issues right now, the way he's keeping mum on the crisis going on in the country, if care is not taken, we may experience another civil war. Let's take on it.
Yes, I understood you are not trying to threaten me by telling me you have a limited time. For me, of course, I'm not limited by time and boundaries. So I'm here to air my views and let the world know what is happening. And before I comment on what you said, I must express my unalloyed appreciation to the World Igbo Congress for the good job they are doing to ensure that their people down here is safe and secured. So kudos and congratulations to Umunnem isi a ọ bụ n'onwe ya ndewonu gaanụ n'ihu ezi Chineke ga-akwadonu. Yes, coming down to what Soyinka reacted, I would see it as a reaction based on the current happenings. Of course, my people will say, "Udo derende chorudo." If you need peace, then you pursue peace. So if otherwise, then you face the reality, the consequences. For me, of course, Nigeria have not done anything to engender peace, especially this present government dispensation. They have succeeded in destroying the fabrics of our unity, the fabrics of our coexistence. So under no condition, under no circumstances should we continue as a people, as an entity. What defines our common existence? Is it killing? Is it ravaging? Is it harassing and molesting? I mean, raping of my mothers and sisters? Is that existence? Is it, I mean, killing people that are going to their farms? I mean, who, of course, depends on farming for existence, in their farmland on the basis of free movement of the people from the Sahel regions. So there's nothing that defines our common existence. And I tell you that Nigeria is not existing, because what defines our common existence? What could we be proud as a nation? What are our ideas? What can we be proud of as a Nigerian, Mr. Mike? Tell me, you have been asking questions. I want to ask you, as a journalist in this Nigeria, what do you gain? What do you derive? What have been your benefits over the years? Do you have security? You have no insurance that covers your this risky field. You see, whatever happens to you, even you are just at the mercy of the Almighty. So there is nothing. You have no health insurance. You have no life cover. Nothing is working. Even Nigeria does not know that we are existing, and you claim to be Nigeria. And me that is agitating for a good governance, a place that I will call my own. As Abraham said, we are looking for a city whose builder and maker is God. Biafrans, and when I mean Biafrans, not just the Igbos. We have the Ijos, we have the Securis, the people that make up this conglomerate called Biafra. You see, so we are looking for a city whose builder and maker is God. Where there is respect for the people, the citizens of that country, where you can fulfill your dream and expectation, you can live out, where you can wake up and go to your respective place of endeavors without any fear of being molested, of being killed or hacked to death. That is what we are looking for, and it is not obtainable, it's not feasible in this country. Look at, I spoke with one of my big brothers in diaspora. He said that is the US or whatever the country he resides celebrated 100 years of uninterrupted power supply. 100 years of uninterrupted power supply. Can we boast of 1 day of uninterrupted power supply in a state in Nigeria? It is impossible. It has not happened. You see, and it can never happen under this setting, under this dispensation. Even the past and previous, the next dispensation, it can never happen. So Nigeria still, we remaining as an entity, we coming together is just, delaying justice, delaying our destiny. You have a destiny to fulfill. Imagine if I have an opportunity. By Stick Regiment of University Study, I'm a scientist, physical scientist. You see, I have so many projects to embark on, but I don't see it coming through within Nigerian states, because nobody can sponsor you grants or loan, educational loan. Look at how they have bastardized our education. How could a nation, the undergraduates of a go on strike for barely 1 year, 1 year, one full academic year, and nothing seems to be happening. Nothing. There is no concrete, of course. Action to rectify those fundamental issues that borders on coexistence and whatever. So the best thing is to divide this country. Let everybody go to his tent, or Israel, and whatever happens to you face your fate and destiny. And on this basis, I declare that the war has already begun. We are just finishing the fight, and it is no longer time to delay, because if we fail to do it now, we are just procrastinating the evil day for our coming generation, which they will not forgive us if we must fail at this time.
Thank you so much, Chigozie. We really appreciate you, Chigozie. Very brilliant talk from you. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate some of our reviewers that have come out to explore. I still remain Michael Adekunle. Join us next time on the same platform. You can subscribe to the sister channel Fliptv Plus. You can subscribe to Fliptv. You can join me on Facebook, Michael Timtayo Adekunle, MICHAEL, Michael Timtayo. Viewers, keep safe, keep watching Fliptv. Bye for now.